This video contains information relating to the possibility of nuclear bomb explosions which could take place in the United Kingdom. There is evidence which tells us that it is most likely to be held at the Olympics Stadium, which is located at northeast of London. A chemical and a biological attack could also take place on the London Underground, resulting in the deaths of large numbers of people. If such information is likely to scare you or make you feel depressed and you want to avoid feeling this way, then please do not watch this video. One way the elites show their plans to the public is through a game called the Illuminati card game. This card game was made in 1995 by Steve Jackson, and it has consistently predicted events accurately again and again. The name of these cards and the name of the creator's website, Illuminati.com, is pretty blatant. Why the elites are being so blatant is strange, but maybe because the mainstream media and officialdom in general ignore this. The elites aren't concerned if a minority of conspiracy theorists look at them. Some of these cards predict major events, but a lot of them are a commentary on society. This world is a game to the elites, and that is why they show their agenda in a card game. There were many references to the World Trade Center being attacked before 9/11 happened. Here are some references. Marvel 2-in-1 1983, Super Mario Bros. 1993, Mortadelo 1993, Armageddon 1998, The Coup, June 2001, Deathstroke 1992, The Simpsons 1997, The Lone Gunman, March 4, 2001.
Alright, try cutting electrical power.
They've thought of that. They've thought of everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're experiencing some technical difficulties up here. At this time, we'd like you all to return to your seats.
And kiss your asses goodbye.
Finally, we're getting close. I know. Damn it! New York Center, this is Atlantic National Flight 265 Heavy. We are declaring an emergency. We have 110 souls on board, 16,000 pounds of fuel, and no dangerous goods or cargo to report. Come on, Bro Hickey.
Fronts have failed, haven't they?
There's still hope.
Hope my next turn out's as nice as my last one.
We've got manual override.
Similarly, more than a year before the London bombings in 2005, the BBC's Panorama programme featured a mock exercise which imagined terrorists bombing 3 underground trains and a road vehicle. The actual London bombings 1 year later also happened to involve 3 underground trains and 1 road vehicle. In the same way that an attack on 9/11 and 7/7 was predicted in films and TV programs, a fake terrorist attack at the London 2012 Olympics is also being predicted. In August 2008, the BBC broadcasted a series of programs called Spooks Code 9, which envisaged a nuclear attack on the London Olympic Stadium in 2012.
Code 9. A nuclear attack on London. In bomb terms, the blast was relatively small, but the death toll wasn't. Over 100,000 incinerated and many more given a death sentence by radiation. For some people outside of the blast zone, life continued almost as normal. But after the attack, nothing in our country would ever be the same again.
British authorities have commenced Operation Sassoon, the mass evacuation of London and surrounding areas. Relocation centres have been set up by the government in the north of England for all those made homeless after the attack. From its temporary base in Manchester, the government have introduced controversial new security measures.
Was this series another example of a TV program revealing what will happen in the future? Spooks Code 9 includes 3 instances of suspicious symbolism numerology. 2 of the scenes in the program shows us the all-seeing eye in the background. This one-eye symbolism is the same symbolism as the all-seeing eye that is suspiciously placed on the back of the dollar note and is a favorite symbol of the Illuminati. Furthermore, Illuminati also links in with Islam because in the Hadith, which is the collection of Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him and his companions' actions and statements, Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him is said to have prophesied the Antichrist. Prophet Muhammad is reported to have said, God is not one-eyed while Antichrist is blind in the right eye and his eye looks like a bulging out grape. You need to know that the Antichrist is one-eyed and he is a non-believer. The Antichrist will come on the last few years before Judgment Day and he will claim that he is God, and to prove that he is God he will use his supernatural powers which God granted him. People who are not religious or have weak faith will fall into the Antichrist's trap and will think that he is God, so therefore the Antichrist will put him in heaven, which is actually hell, and vice versa. The reason why God created the Antichrist is to simply test the humans to see who is a true believer and who is a disbeliever. There is much more information about the Antichrist, but that will be discussed in a different video. The Illuminati are using this symbol to indicate that the events portrayed in the series are planned to take place in the real world. Why did they call it Spooks Code 9? The original Spooks series was called Spooks. The word code indicates that a coded message is being conveyed. The coded message is that the events that the series imagines are being planned to happen in the real world. 9 is also one of the favorite numbers of the Illuminati. Think of 9/11. In episode 1 of the series, one of the characters strangely asks to have 5.5 hours or 330 minutes to find the killer of a colleague. Why 5.5 hours? Why would you need exactly 5.5 hours to find someone?
All we need is time.
How long?
5.5 hours.
5.5?
330 minutes.
You sound very sure.
Yeah.
5.5 hours is equivalent to 330 minutes, which is a reference to 33, as in the 33 degrees of Freemasonry. By making this reference to 33, the Freemasons or secret societies that are in control of the UK, are saying that they are behind the making of the program and they are conveying a secret message. The secret message being conveyed is that the events that the program imagines are being planned to happen in the real world. David Wollstonecraft, the creator of Spooks Code 9, wrote 2 books which included one-eye symbolism on their covers. The company that produced Spooks Code 9 is called Kudos. Here is a screenshot of the homepage of that company on the internet. Is it just a coincidence that the creator of Spooks Code 9 and the production company behind the series both use the one-eye symbolism favored by the Illuminati? The Olympic mascots are also an obvious reference to one-eye symbolism. Why do they only have one eye? The symbolism of the one-eye mascots is the same one-eye symbolism that is found on the dollar note. The floodlights at the main stadium are also a reference to the symbol that is found on the dollar note. Rick Clay brilliantly showed that the symbol for the Beijing Olympics encoded the word Zion. The logo for the London Olympics also encodes the word Zion. We are told that the logo represents 2012, but how do you explain the extra dot? The extra dot and the rest of the logo does however fit into the word Zion. The logo spells Zion and not 2012. The last 2 Olympic logos have been deliberately created to encode the word Zion, suggesting that the Olympic Games are an important part of the plan to establish Zion. In 2010, the author Tom Kane wrote a short story, which was published in a British newspaper, in which he imagined a nuclear bomb going off at the Olympic Stadium and Trafalgar Square. Tom Kane isn't his real name. His real name is David Thomas. Why did he choose the name Kane? David Icke wrote, "High-level initiates of the Illuminati secret society network still refer to themselves as the Sons of Cain." Taken from page 209 of Human Race Get Off Your Knees. Also note that the secret password of a Master Mason of the 3rd degree is Tubal Cain. Is it just a coincidence that the author of a short story based on the imagined bombing of the London Olympics assumed the name Cain? Or is Tom Cain a high-level initiate of the Illuminati who has been given the task of informing fellow initiates of what is being planned to happen at the London Olympics? Tom Cain is also quoted as saying in an interview that my father was a diplomat with strong intelligence links. Is it not suspicious that an author who has written a short story that imagines the bombing of the London Olympics has assumed an Illuminati name and has intelligence links through his father? In 2010, the Rockefeller Foundation produced a report entitled Scenarios for the Future Technology and International Development. The report stated, no one was prepared for a world in which large-scale catastrophes would occur with such breathtaking frequency. The years 2010 to 2020 were dubbed the Doom Decade for good reason. The 2012 Olympic bombing, which killed 13,000 people. Page 34. Is it not suspicious that the report was written by the Rockefeller Foundation, the Rockefellers being one of the main players in the New World Order conspiracy? And why did they choose 13,000? The Illuminati use certain numbers to indicate that they are behind the secret message being conveyed. 13 is a number they often use. The use of the number 13 as in 13,000 deaths, in a report issued by the Rockefeller Foundation, suggests that the Illuminati are behind a plot to kill large numbers of people at the London Olympics. The 2011 late August edition of Private Eye was mainly devoted to comment and analyze on the riots that took place in the UK at that time. It had nothing to do with the Olympics. The cover of the magazine told a different story, however. Look at the title and look at the caption. Why was the cover called Olympic Rehearsal, and why did the caption refer to the Olympic ceremony being the worst ever, when this particular edition had nothing to do with the Olympics? Is another secret message being delivered, which is that something bad will happen at the Olympic opening ceremony? Further suspicions are raised by a report in 2005 that claimed that the site of the Olympic Park was previously the site of an experimental nuclear reactor. In the film 2012, the main character is shown looking for a map while trying to escape an exploding volcano. The first map he finds, strangely happens to be a map of the London Underground. When he finds the map, he decides to fully open it, even though it isn't the one he needs. Notice how the character is made to hold up the map so that we can clearly see it is a map of the London Underground. The scene seems to have been deliberately set up to emphasize the connection between the London Underground and 2012, or London and 2012. Is this another example of a film being used to reveal what is going to happen in the future? The film V for Vendetta was based on the comic book series of the same name. The comic included two examples of suspicious symbolism. Firstly, the cover of the comic uses one-eye symbolism. DC Comics, the comics publisher, also used one-eyed symbolism as shown on page 35 of the 6th comic. On page 8 of the 8th comic, Aleister Crowley's maxim "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the laws" is quoted. Aleister Crowley was a leading occultist and is thought by some to have been part of the Illuminati. These clues suggest that the comic series was put together by people who believed in the ideas of the Illuminati. The comic didn't, however, make any mention of a chemical-biological attack on the London Underground, but the film did. Why would the later film refer to a chemical-biological attack but not the original comic series? Is the film trying to convey the message that an attack on the London Underground is being planned? Before 9/11 and 7/7, there was mock exercises based on events that would later take place. Similarly, in September 2003, the emergency services and the London Underground took part in Operation Osiris, which was a mock exercise designed to test their ability to respond to a chemical-biological attack on the London Underground. Why did they call it Operation Osiris? Osiris is an Egyptian god, usually identified as the god of the afterlife, the underworld and the dead. If you read about the Illuminati and other secret societies, you will discover a connection between them and Egyptian mythology. The fact that the mock exercise was called Operation Osiris suggests that the Illuminati are behind a plot to carry out an attack on the London Underground. The film 2012 suggests an attack is being planned for 2012. If the Illuminati are to move forward their plans to establish a new world order, they would have to use a large-scale fake terror event to scare people into accepting increased surveillance and control of their lives. The clues presented in this video suggest that such an event is being planned to happen at the London Olympics and on the London Underground. If enough people are made aware of this information, however, the so-called Illuminati may be forced to cancel their plans and many lives will be saved. Please pass on this video to people you know who are thinking of attending the games or the celebrations at Trafalgar Square or events at other locations in London and the UK. Please also distribute this video to as many other people as possible. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe to Aria Television for the latest updates.